Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Prince Albert Police, the Prince Albert Grand Council, and the family of Peyton Flett are renewing calls for information following her disappearance. 14-year-old Peyton Flett was reported missing on June 30th. Police believe she was last seen between June 16th and 17th near John Diefenbaker School and later in the area of Marquis Road and Central Avenue. She's described as around 5'4", 115 pounds, and was last seen wearing Christmas pajama pants. Her family are asking anyone with information to come forward, even if it may seem insignificant.
In 7 days, on August 19th, Peyton will be turning 15 years old. She should be at home with us celebrating her birthday.
Anyone with information can reach out to police, the Prince Albert Grand Council, or Crime Stoppers. Métis Nation Saskatchewan says one of its former leaders has passed away. On Facebook yesterday, Métis Nation Saskatchewan announced the passing of Louis Gardner. Gardner was a former provincial treasurer, Northern Region 3 regional representative, and a local president. Gardner was a survivor of the Isle La Crosse residential school and a strong advocate for Métis rights. He and others filed a class action lawsuit that reached a settlement with the provincial and federal governments last year. Tributes from his peers are remembering him for his kindness, athletic ability, and leadership. The Insurance Bureau of Canada says 2 days of severe weather in June caused more than $840 million in insured losses in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Storms on June 9th and 10th, including this tornado in the Oxbow area, brought hail, damaging winds, torrential rain, and flash flooding, causing widespread damage to the two provinces. The Insurance Bureau says the storms caused more insured losses than all of 2025, when wildfires, flash flooding, and hail and strong winds caused about $760 million in insured losses. It says the frequency and severity of storms have increased in recent years, resulting in rising costs for insured damages and putting pressure on insurance premiums.
All orders of government really do need to take this problem seriously and to start investing and taking immediate steps to reduce Canadians' exposure to these extreme weather events.
The Bureau says there are ways to reduce the damage, like incentives for homeowners to make practical upgrades that protect their homes from severe weather. Well, nothing too severe about the weather today, Jeff. A little bit cooler than we were expecting, but what do we see in the next few days?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to see a big jump up in temperatures. The temperatures are going to remain below seasonal for the most part, John. And right now, the most active weather is in southern Alberta and southern Saskatchewan. Throughout the rest of Alberta and Saskatchewan, part of those pop-up showers we've talked about for the last little while, it remains unstable. The instability is certainly pretty much a coast-to-coast phenomenon, but we are going to talk about the possibility of rain as we get closer to tomorrow and into Friday. That's when we expect the rain to start showing up. More details on that later on.
The City of Saskatoon's public art policy is here to stay. City councillors decided to keep the public art policy that was criticized after $300,000 were spent on 3 plastic boulders to display around town. The policy makes it a requirement that capital project costs include a portion to be earmarked for public art. 11 speakers defended the policy at City Hall today, saying why the city needs projects like this moving forward. Some said the policy had only been used once over the last 10 years. One city councillor says it could be a point of contention moving forward.
Don't let one controversial project define a policy that has helped shape Saskatoon's public spaces for more than a decade.
We have many large, as in hundreds of millions of dollars, capital projects coming forward, and I don't want to do this again every couple of years.
The city says it will review and tweak the policy in a number of different ways. STAR's air ambulance touched down in Warman twice yesterday. The Warman Fire Department says 2 separate cardiac arrest calls came in yesterday afternoon, about 2 hours apart from each other. In both cases, Medivy arrived and called for assistance from STARS. The chopper landed at the intersection of Miller Street and Casper Crescent, as well as on Clubhouse Drive East. STARS says both landings were executed without obstructions. Medivy also told CTV that the construction on Wanuskewin Road did not impact the ground ambulance response in the area. The The University of Saskatchewan has been chosen to take part in a quantum computing initiative with the goal of strengthening Canada's defence and sovereignty. Along with the University of Calgary, the U of S is getting $20.3 million to set up cutting-edge, ultra-secure spaces to research quantum science. It's called the Quantum Dish, or Defence Innovation Secure Hub. Work will be focused in 4 areas: quantum sensing, quantum communications, quantum algorithms, and quantum hardware assurance. The Quantum Dish will join a network that includes the Maritime Dish and the Uncrewed Systems Dish. The Ministry of Defence says the use of quantum science will directly support the country's defences by maintaining Canada's technological advantage. A recent discovery of metal signs dug up near the Bessborough Hotel are shining a spotlight on the history of Saskatoon's River Valley. The Meewasin Valley Authority says about 100 metal signs were unearthed in July while they were doing trail enhancements. It joins other discoveries like bison skulls more than 2,000 years old and the anchor of a ship that capsized in the early 1900s. This part of the River Valley was once used as a dumping area, but it might not still be all under the surface.
Apparently there's still more in the ground. We just didn't bring them up when we were trenching, and we just had them in a pile at our staging area for construction, and a lot of people were walking by and noticed them and were interested to know more about them.
He says a similar sign at an antique dealer in Edmonton, while in much better condition, was selling for $400. When we come back, curtains open for an award-winning musical. We hear from 2 actors in Come From Away, opening tonight.
I am at the E.A. Rawlinson Center with actors Brooke and Patrick, who are part of Broadway North's show Come From Away. So, hey guys, how's it going? Excited to be here. Brooke, we'll start off with you. Could you give just a little rundown on what the premise of Come From Away is?
So it all is set in Newfoundland when September 11th happened and the United States airspace closed, and there were 38 planes with 7,000 people who ended up stranded essentially because they couldn't get anywhere. And the town of Gander came together and really showed community and kindness and took all these people and gave them 5 days of life-changing experiences.
I have another one for you. Who are you playing?
My main role is Hannah. So these are all true characters. So Hannah O'Rourke is her name, and her son was actually a firefighter in 9/11. And throughout the musical, he's missing the entire time, and she's trying her hardest to get back there to help find him.
Patrick, who are you in this show?
I have a couple different roles as well. My main one is Kevin T. He's an environmental analyst that comes from New York that him and his partner are again stranded or diverted to Gander. I also play a local whose name is Garth. He's kind of the head of the buses and the operations, helping with the transportation, and I play the president as well.
Before the interview, you told me this was your first show with Broadway North. What is it specifically about Come From Away that, you know, kind of motivated you to want to join this production?
Yeah, it's definitely the story. I've had the privilege of being part of musicals in other companies and seeing a lot even on Broadway in New York. And I would say this ranks as one of my top 3 stories with the music, just the heartfelt story that you feel while watching it, whether it's on TV or in person. It's next to none. And the fact that we get to do something in Saskatchewan that's so meaningful, that definitely drew me to being a part of it.
Yeah, as far as like major musicals go, it's a very Canadian story, like very big part of Canadian history here. Brooke, during the rehearsal process, what were some, like, I don't necessarily want to say challenges, but what were some of the bigger things that you felt you had to put more work into?
I would say the biggest obstacle has been the chairs. We have no stage hands come on and help us at all. We have to redesign the set with our chairs throughout the entire thing. So 1 minute we're in a bus, the next we're in a plane. As you're in one scene, you're trying to remember what the next scene is going to be and which chairs you need to move in order to make it all happen. But at that time is also when you have a line and you have to try to still be in characters.
A follow-up question about the chairs. Is the blocking with the chairs, does that come from the original production of Come From Away, or how is that sort of?
The directors did get some guidance on that, and then we also, I think, adapted it to be for our stage and our set.
It was an incredibly positive experience so far. I would have to agree it's the chairs. It does follow the Broadway version very closely, and unlike other musicals, there's no stagehands to create the set as you get a break to go off stage. So it's just a lot of extra duties for a performer to do, but it also makes it that much more meaningful.
What did you both think of the music here?
Oh, it's so fun. It's got Newfie music in one, and then in the next you've got a heartfelt, emotional piece, and it just takes you on this wild ride throughout the entire show.
Brooke said it perfectly. It is the most emotional music, and it just takes you to the highest highs that they experienced in Gander and the lowest lows.
August 12th is opening day, and I'm assuming tickets are through the box office?
EARC.ca, or you can call it 765-1270.
What would you say to encourage people to come out to see the show?
This isn't just a musical, it's nostalgia. We lived through it. It still is recent history, and it's amazing when you watch the musical how much it comes back that you even forgot a little about. But once you are in there and feeling it, you're a part of the musical, which is so magical.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say you're going to see yourself reflected in this musical somehow, in some way, whether it's through the many characters that are played that all gathered together in Canada from all over the world, or whether it's the music or just the storyline of 9/11 itself.
Okay, sounds very, very intriguing. So thank you guys for meeting with me and doing this interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Still to come on CTV News, a look at weather with Jeff and virtual reality getting people into new environments from the comfort of home. All right, Jeff, you're in the batter's box there, going to give us the weather forecast for the rest of this work week, right?
Well, don't expect a home run. We might be a ground rule double, maybe, if we're lucky. It all depends on what you want, because we do have some rain in the forecast, and I know some people do want some rain. Right now, the most intense rain is in southern Alberta into Saskatchewan. We still have some pop-up showers, and there's another upper low that is certainly, moving through Saskatchewan, and not a surprise that we're getting some of those pop-up showers. We've been talking about that for the last few days. And of course, there's a lot of, actually some, unstable. Yesterday, we had the same sort of situation, unstable air, coast to coast. And I misspoke. Last night wasn't the best night to watch the Perseid meteor shower. Tonight is the night. And we'll just wait and see if there's enough clearance in the cloud deck, because it doesn't look like it's going to be favorable, shall we say. So moving on, and we'll talk about that in a second here. So our futurecast indicating that, yes, things cool off in the afternoon, in the overnight, but then as we get into the early part of the day, that more intense area of weather certainly starts to show up in southern Alberta, and some of it slides into Saskatchewan as we make our way into tomorrow afternoon. Now let's take a look and see what we've got going on. Overnight in the Lakeland region, 8 degrees in Spiritwood, 9 in the Battlefords, 8 in Candle Lake, 7 in Birch Hills, 7 as well in Roster, and about a 30% chance of showers in the Roster area, 7 in Melfort, and 8 in Nipawin. Most of these locations dealing with a chance of showers and a risk of a thunderstorm. It's pretty much pat for this time of year. 17 degrees for tomorrow in Spiritwood, 19 in the Battlefords under cloudy skies, mainly cloudy conditions in Candle Lake with a high of 20 degrees. That's true of Birch Hills and Rostern and Melfort. Nipawin also mainly cloudy skies, but it gets up to 21 degrees, which is still, I'll say, substantially substantially lower than it would typically be this time of mid-August or early August. So tonight, slight chance of showers, risk of a thunderstorm, some fog patches developing in the overnight. Temperatures in the Gateway City dropping down to 8 degrees, not much in the way of wind. Wind picks up a little bit tomorrow. Winds out of the southeast at 10 kilometers an hour under mainly cloudy skies, and a high of 20, which is 4 or 5 degrees below seasonal for this time of year. And then as we take a look at what's going on Friday. So Thursday night into Friday, that's when the rain starts to show up. And it looks as though Friday, 5 to 10 millimeters of rain, 17 degrees, so a cool and wet Friday. Things warm up a little bit for the weekend, temperatures of around 23 degrees. And then they don't vary all that much Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So that's how things are shaping up for the next 7 days, John.
And I'm no farmer, but I'm guessing nobody's going to be out in their tractors this early in the middle of August and this next.
Well, not around here. I think some of the harvest has begun in southern Saskatchewan, where you've got much drier conditions. But yes, I think many of the farmers that I've talked to are hoping for a little bit of rain, fill out some of the grain. And that way, then they can get harvest underway in a significant way.
There you go. So this rain will kind of be like the finishing as you get the plate ready to send it out to the table.
Pretty much.
There you go. All right, Jeff. Well, the Saskatoon Berries got off to a hot start in Game 1 of the WCBL East Final against the Moose Jaw Miller Express.
Here's the 2-2 from Bavis. Swung on, high in the air, left center field. Back to the wall and gone. A solo home run by Ethan Murdoch.
That home run from Ethan Murdoch helped get the Berries out to a 7-0 lead before Moose Jaw finally scored 3 runs in the 6th inning. The Miller Express got another run in the 8th, but the Berries held on for a 7-4 win. The Berries now have a chance to win their first East Division title in team history when they host Moose Jaw tonight at 7 from Cairns Field in Saskatoon.
Former Major League pitcher Randy Johnson was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 2015. Best known for his time with the Mariners, Diamondbacks, and Yankees, but he was first drafted by the Montreal Expos. And you're looking at rare footage our CTV Saskatoon cameras got of Randy Johnson at Expos training camp in Florida in 1989. Look at those red and white unis. Back then, local Saskatchewan reporters would cover some major league stories. It's with the Expos Johnson got his nickname the Big Unit because of his imposing 6'10" size. Here's an interview he did with Kevin Waugh at the time.
6'10", you're very dominating out there on the mound. Do you get that feeling?
That's the feeling that I want to come across to my opposing opponents. I'm going to try and be as intimidating as I possibly can be, being 6'10" out there and throwing the ball hard, and sometimes a little bit wild. I think that'll all be into my favor. I think I'll have the upper hand if they come into the batting box being a little intimidated already. I've won half the battle there already, so that's basically what I'm going to try and do this year, is be a little bit intimidating.
Johnson would be traded to Seattle after a short stint with Montreal, but who's kidding who? The Expos and him looked way better in those royal red uniforms.
And if you want to check out more classic sports moments from the days of Wilco and wood-finished televisions, you can check them out on our website.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
The use of virtual reality technology is helping seniors and people with limited mobility experience familiar places as well as new ones, all without having to travel. Quinn Keenan has more.
Since April, residents have been able to take advantage of the VirCube Flexi. It projects immersive scenes 270 degrees around a cube. The response so far has been overwhelmingly positive.
So far, I've heard lots of good feedback. They really love being able to feel like they're getting out. out of the facility, which often physically they can't.
The space also offers residents a chance to play games and even do yoga. So far, the virtual tours of real-life locations has been the biggest hit.
I love it. Every chance I get, I'm there trying to see what they have new. I'm not much of a game player, but I've tried it. It's fun.
It isn't just seniors who are benefiting. 43-year-old Rebecca Ellis suffers from a rare neurological condition that breaks down her nervous system. The cube allows her to do things she never thought possible.
Growing up, I was never able to play Nintendo or Xbox because I don't use my hands very much, so I couldn't hold a remote. And having them clip on my wrist is real cool. You know, I can just use my arms, and it's real fun.
Whether it's playing games or seeing sights from around the world, the cube has had a positive impact on residents. It's giving those who may lack mobility the chance to recreate how they want and to build a sense of freedom.
It means a lot because I don't get out very much. I can't do a lot. So it's cool to go in there and see different places and interact with different things that I'll never be able to physically go to.
Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
This is more of the stuff you got.
The Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is looking for participants in what it calls the largest health research project in the province. The SCA needs participants for the Healthy Future Sask project. It will study chronic disease and cancer to better understand prevention and care for future generations. The hope is that researchers will discover clues about why some people get sick and others don't. Adults between 30 and 74 with a Saskatchewan health card can go online to complete a questionnaire, followed by an optional in-person visit. For more information, go to healthyfuturesask.ca. All right, Jeff, it wasn't Homer Simpson's fault, but a nuclear power plant in France had to shut down 3 reactors because of jellyfish. The swarm of jellyfish clogged the pumps that are used to cool the reactors. Officials say there was no risk to public safety, but it does leave France with a growing nuclear energy deficit. Production's been disrupted, and heat waves and droughts are making things uncomfortable. France reported a 15% shortfall in nuclear production this year, and right in the middle of summer, you probably get those. What are the Tour de France guys? Hook them up to some kind of a power thing and just
there you go.
Get them to turn their legs.
Thinking outside the box.
Exactly.
Way to go.
Find a solution.
Exactamundo. I mean, may we.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.